Ever wonder why property prices keep climbing? This new supercycle could mean years of rising values. Stay tuned to find out why. Welcome back to Vertologic. For those of you who are new here, I'm Sam, your host for YouTube Talks. And I'm currently pursuing a PhD in economics. And yes, I've survived not one, but 2 business schools. Love economics and business? You're in the right spot. So smash that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let's get started. Oh, and by the way, everyone, this video is inspired by an article that was titled "The Housing Price Supercycle is Just Getting Going," published by The Economist on October 1st. After the 2007 to 2009 financial meltdown, global house prices took a hit, dropping 6% in real terms. But they quickly bounced back, surpassing previous highs when COVID-19 hit. Many thought the property market would tank, but instead, there was a frenzy of massed house hunters snapping up homes, despite fears of a housing crash as interest rates climbed in 2021. Prices only dipped by 5.6%, and now rising fast again. Housing seems to have a superpower for defying economic gravity, and this trend is likely to continue. The housing market has evolved dramatically, from being a modest asset class to the world's largest. Until about 1950, house prices in developed countries remained stable. Builders met demand by constructing homes where people wanted them, keeping prices in check. The expansion of transport infrastructure in the 19th and the early 20th centuries also played a role. Improved transport allowed people to live further from work, increasing the amount of usable land and reducing competition for urban spaces. The aftermath of World War II flipped the housing market dynamics. Governments started subsidizing mortgages, and the baby boom in the 50s and 60s increased the demand for housing. Urbanization further pushed the need for homes in already crowded cities. However, the latter half of the 20th century saw stricter land use regulations and anti-development sentiments. Building infrastructure became tougher, and cities like London and New York slowed their housing expansion. The construction of new homes relative to the population peaked in the 60s and has since decreased by half, leading to a steady rise in house prices. The past few years have been less disruptive to housing markets than even the optimists expected 3 years ago. Despite central banks raising interest rates, many homeowners didn't even feel the pinch, thanks to those fixed-rate mortgages. In the U.S., where 30-year fixed rates are common, mortgage payments as a share of income have remained steady. New buyers do face higher costs, but rapid earnings growth, up to 20% across G10 countries since 2019, is helping to balance this out. However, not all regions are thriving. Germany, New Zealand, and Sweden have seen house prices drop by more than 20% from their pandemic peaks. Conversely, U.S. house prices hit new highs almost monthly, rising 5% in the past year. Portugal is experiencing a price surge, and Rome, after a significant decline, is seeing a rebound in house prices. In the short term, house prices are likely to keep rising, helped by those falling interest rates. In the U.S., the rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage has dropped by nearly 1.5 percentage points from its recent peak. In Europe, many fixed-rate borrowers will soon be able to refinance at lower rates as central banks cut their policy rates. But there are deeper forces at play that will sustain the housing supercycle for decades. The rich world's foreign-born population is growing at an annual rate of 4%, the fastest on record. Immigrants need housing. which tends to drive up both rents and house prices. Research from Barcelona University shows that a 1% increase in immigration can boost average house prices by 3.3%. Despite efforts to curb immigration, rich countries will likely continue to see high levels of migration to support their aging populations. Goldman Sachs predicts that if Kamala Harris wins the U.S. presidential election, net immigration will fall to 1.5 million per year and to 1.25 million if Donald Trump wins with a split government. When COVID-19 hit, many thought remote work would diminish the appeal of big cities, allowing people to move to more spacious, cheaper homes. However, big cities still hold their charm. In the U.S., 37% of businesses remain in large urban areas, the same as in 2019. Employment in capital cities has actually increased in places like Japan, South Korea, and Turkey. Urban areas also offer more social amenities, raising competition for limited housing space. Traffic congestion and slow travel speeds in the cities are worsening. For instance, Britain's average travel speeds have dropped by 5% over the past decade. Many American cities face near-record congestion. Building new transport networks to alleviate these issues is challenging, as seen with California's high-speed rail project, which may never even be completed. Some hope lies in the Yes in My Backyard or YIMBY movement, advocating for relaxed land use rules to encourage construction. New Zealand saw a record number of house building permissions in early 2022, easing property prices. However, this trend is less pronounced elsewhere. For instance, San Jose authorized only 7,000 new houses last year, down from a decade ago. Even cities like Houston and Miami, known for their proactive building policies, are seeing slower construction rates. In the coming years, housing markets will likely face various challenges, including fluctuations in economic growth, interest rates, and potential banking crises. However, long-term trends in demographics, urban economics, and infrastructure suggest a resilient housing market. According to a prediction by economists Miles and Sefton, it is plausible that house prices in many countries could consistently rise faster than incomes. This means the world's largest asset class is only going to get bigger. Well, everyone, that wraps up our exploration of the housing market supercycle. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, every day is a new opportunity to achieve greatness. Oh, and by the way, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because information is power. See you next time.